Boeing, an American industrial titan, has long been synonymous with aviation. Its aircraft have connected continents and shaped the modern world. Yet, this legacy is intertwined with a darker history, marked by tragic accidents and controversies. These incidents serve as stark reminders of the immense responsibility that comes with designing, building, and operating aircraft. When safety is compromised, the consequences can be catastrophic. Boeing's story is a complex tapestry of innovation, ambition, and, at times, devastating failures. It's a story that forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about corporate accountability, regulatory oversight, and the human cost of technological progress. This essay will delve into Boeing's dark history, examining key incidents that have tarnished its reputation and reshaped the aviation industry. From the 737 MAX crashes to other notable accidents, we'll explore the causes, the consequences, and the lessons learned. Ultimately, this is a story about the enduring importance of safety in aviation and the ongoing quest to prevent future tragedies. The Boeing 737 MAX, a seemingly routine update to a popular airliner, became a symbol of crisis. What was intended to be a modern marvel of aviation technology turned into a cautionary tale of corporate oversight and engineering failure. 2 fatal crashes within 5 months shocked the world and plunged Boeing into turmoil. The aviation industry, known for its rigorous safety standards, was suddenly under intense scrutiny. This section examines the tragic arcs of Lion Air Flight 610 and Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302, both lost due to a flawed automated system. These incidents not only claimed hundreds of lives, but also shattered public confidence in air travel. On October 29, 2018, Lion Air Flight 610, a brand new 737 MAX, crashed into the Java Sea shortly after takeoff from Jakarta, Indonesia. The flight, which was supposed to be a routine journey, ended in disaster within minutes. All 189 people on board perished. Families were left devastated, and the world mourned the loss of so many lives in such a tragic manner. The investigation revealed that a new flight control system, the Maneuvering Characteristics Augmentation System, or MCAS, had malfunctioned, forcing the aircraft's nose down repeatedly. This system, designed to enhance safety, ironically became the cause of the catastrophe. Despite this tragedy, and with questions lingering about MCAS, the 737 MAX remained in service. Airlines and passengers alike were unaware of the lurking danger. On March 10, 2019, Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302, also a 737 MAX, crashed minutes after takeoff from Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, killing all 157 people on board. The world was once again plunged into grief and disbelief. The similarities to the Lion Air crash were striking. Both incidents involved the same aircraft model and the same problematic system, raising serious questions about the safety of the 737 MAX. MCAS was again implicated, and this time, the global aviation community took notice. The system, which was supposed to prevent stalls, had instead become a deadly flaw. The 737 MAX was grounded worldwide, marking an unprecedented moment in aviation history. Never before had a modern aircraft been pulled from service on such a global scale. The crashes and the subsequent grounding sent shockwaves through the industry, exposing critical flaws in aircraft design, certification processes, and pilot training. The repercussions were felt far and wide, affecting airlines, manufacturers, and regulatory bodies. The stage was set for a reckoning. Investigations, hearings, and reforms followed as the world sought to understand how such a tragedy could occur and how to prevent it from happening again. The legacy of the 737 MAX crisis serves as a stark reminder of the importance of vigilance, transparency, and accountability in aviation. At the heart of the 737 MAX crisis lay a seemingly innocuous piece of software, the Maneuvering Characteristics Augmentation System, or MCAS. This system, though designed with good intentions, would become the focal point of a tragic series of events that shook the aviation industry to its core. This automated system, designed to prevent stalls, would prove fatally flawed. It was intended to enhance safety by automatically correcting the aircraft's angle of attack, but its implementation was far from perfect. MCAS was added to the 737 MAX to compensate for the aircraft's larger engines and their placement further forward on the wings. These design changes were meant to improve fuel efficiency and performance, but they also introduced new aerodynamic challenges. This change altered the plane's handling characteristics, potentially leading to a stall in certain scenarios. The aircraft's nose could pitch up excessively, creating a dangerous situation that MCAS was supposed to mitigate. MCAS was meant to counteract this by automatically pushing the aircraft's nose down if it sensed a dangerous angle of attack. This intervention was designed to be seamless and unnoticed by pilots, allowing them to focus on other critical aspects of flight. However, MCAS had several critical flaws. Its reliance on a single angle of attack sensor made it highly susceptible to errors, and there were no redundancies in place to cross-check the sensor's data. It relied on a single sensor, making it vulnerable to errors. If this sensor malfunctioned or provided incorrect data, MCAS could be triggered unnecessarily, leading to unintended and dangerous consequences. If the sensor malfunctioned, it could trigger MCAS unnecessarily, forcing the plane into a dive. This sudden and unexpected action could catch pilots off guard, especially if they were not fully aware of the system's behavior. Moreover, Boeing did not adequately inform pilots about MCAS or provide specific training on the system. Many pilots were unaware of its existence, let alone how to respond if it activated erroneously. In both the Lion Air and Ethiopian Airlines crashes, a faulty angle of attack sensor triggered MCAS repeatedly. The system's repeated interventions created a situation that was difficult, if not impossible, for the pilots to manage. The pilots, unaware of the system's existence or how to properly disable it, fought desperately to regain control but were ultimately unable to avert disaster. Their lack of training and information about MCAS left them ill-prepared to handle the emergency. The tragedies exposed the dangers of complex automated systems and the critical importance of pilot understanding and training. It highlighted the need for thorough pilot education on all aircraft systems, no matter how seemingly minor, to ensure they can respond effectively in any situation. Section 4. Boeing's Ethical Lapses, a Culture of Complacency. The 737 MAX crashes raised serious questions about Boeing's corporate culture and decision-making processes. These tragic incidents were not just isolated events, but rather symptoms of deeper systemic issues within the company. Critics argued that a culture of complacency, driven by profit and market share, had taken root within the company, eroding safety standards. This culture, they claimed, was fostered by a relentless focus on financial performance, often at the expense of rigorous safety protocols. Investigations and internal documents revealed that Boeing had made a series of questionable decisions during the development and certification of the 737 MAX. These decisions were influenced by a desire to compete aggressively with rival Airbus, leading to compromises that would later prove catastrophic. The company had pushed for a swift certification process, seeking to minimize costs and get the plane to market quickly. This urgency was driven by the need to meet market demands and maintain a competitive edge, but it came at a significant cost. This haste, some argued, led to shortcuts in safety analysis and pilot training requirements. The pressure to deliver quickly meant that critical safety assessments were either rushed or overlooked, and pilots were not given the comprehensive training they needed to handle new systems. Moreover, Boeing had downplayed the significance of MCAS, failing to adequately inform pilots about the system or provide specific training. This lack of transparency and proper training left pilots unprepared to handle situations where the MCAS system malfunctioned. Some accused the company of prioritizing profits over safety, knowingly putting cost-cutting measures ahead of thorough testing and pilot awareness. This prioritization of financial metrics over safety considerations created an environment where risks were underestimated and safety was compromised. The 737 MAX crisis painted a picture of a company that had lost its way, prioritizing financial gains over its commitment to safety. The fallout from these crashes was not just a financial disaster, but also a profound ethical failure that shook the aviation industry to its core. It highlighted the dangers of unchecked corporate power and the need for stronger regulatory oversight. The crisis underscored the importance of having robust regulatory frameworks to ensure that companies do not sacrifice safety in their pursuit of profit. The fallout from the crashes would force Boeing to confront its missteps and embark on a long road to rebuilding trust. This journey would involve not only technical fixes and improved training programs, but also a fundamental shift in corporate culture towards prioritizing safety above all else. Section 5. Regulatory oversights, a shared responsibility. While Boeing bears significant responsibility for the 737 MAX crashes, The role of regulatory agencies, particularly the Federal Aviation Administration, also came under intense scrutiny. Critics argued that the FAA had become too close to the company it was meant to regulate, leading to lax oversight and a failure to identify critical safety issues. The FAA's relationship with Boeing had long been characterized by collaboration and delegation. Under a program known as the Organization Designation Authorization, Boeing employees were authorized to perform some safety certification work on behalf of the FAA. While intended to streamline the certification process, this delegation raised concerns about potential conflicts of interest and insufficient independence. In the case of the 737 MAX, the FAA delegated significant authority to Boeing during the certification process. Some argue that this delegation, coupled with a lack of rigorous oversight, allowed critical safety flaws to go undetected. The 737 MAX crisis exposed weaknesses in the regulatory system, highlighting the need for greater independence, transparency, and accountability. It sparked calls for reforms to strengthen the FAA's oversight capabilities and ensure that safety remains the paramount concern in aviation.